Well, moments ago, we got word that Prime Minister Mark Carney spoke with U.S. President Donald Trump today.
Today, the Prime Minister Mark Carney had a productive and wide-ranging conversation with the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The leaders discussed current trade challenges, opportunities, and shared priorities in a new economic and security relationship between Canada and the U.S. The leaders also discussed how to build on the President's leadership to support long-term peace and security for Ukraine and Europe.
Moments ago, we got word that Prime Minister Mark Carney spoke with U.S. President Donald Trump. Today's call was described as productive and wide-ranging. The leaders discussed current trade challenges, new opportunities, and shared priorities in shaping a stronger economic and security relationship between Canada and the U.S. They even touched on global stability, including support for Ukraine and European security. Both leaders agreed to speak again soon. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Some expected this to be the moment Canada caved after weeks of U.S. tariffs and Trump's tough talk. But that's not what happened. Not even close. Instead, sources say Carney stood firm. He didn't back down. He showed that Canada is not going to bow to Trump's pressure. In fact, this phone call signals something much bigger than tariffs. It signals a shift in Canada's role in the world, a shift away from dependence on Washington. And today, we're going to unpack what that means and why Trump's threats might not matter as much as he wants them to. Let's rewind. This trade war has been simmering since Trump took office. For months, he's thrown out deadlines and ultimatums. Remember August 1st? Trump warned that if there was no deal by then, tariffs would skyrocket. And sure enough, Washington slapped 35% tariffs on Canadian goods that weren't COSMA compliant. Sounds brutal, right? But here's the reality. Carney didn't panic. He didn't rush to Washington for an emergency handshake deal. He didn't make midnight calls begging for exemptions. Instead, he calmly told reporters, Canada will act when the time is right. And that patience has paid off. Today's call proves Canada was never scrambling. Canada was in control all along. So what exactly happened on the call? According to Canada's readout, the conversation was constructive. They talked trade challenges, yes, but also new opportunities and even global security. Pay attention to this phrase, a new economic and security relationship. That's Carney signaling that Canada is done with the old dependency model. This isn't about begging for tariff relief. This is about redefining the relationship on Canadian terms. And here's something else worth noting. Canada put out a detailed readout. The U.S.? Silence. No official word from Trump's team. That's telling. Canada framed the story before Trump could spin it. Now let's talk tariffs, because you're probably asking, do 35% tariff hurt? Of course they do, short term. But Carney's strategy has been about making those tariffs irrelevant. How? By diversifying trade. Canada's been building stronger ties with Europe, expanding into Asia, and deepening regional partnerships. That means less reliance on Washington and more resilience when Trump tries to flex. Tariffs might have worked decades ago, but today, they are just noise. And here's the genius of Carney's approach. By refusing to panic, he sends a message to Canadians and to the world that tariffs don't define us anymore. Trump wanted fear. Carney gave him calm. Look at the contrast. Trump has been loud, angry, throwing deadlines around. Carney has been patient, disciplined, deliberate. A few weeks ago, Trump even hinted he'd call Carney from the Oval Office, but no call happened. Why? Because Carney waited until he decided the timing was right. That's not weakness. That's confidence. And when the call finally happened, Canada described it as constructive. The U.S.? Again, silence. Trump didn't get what he wanted. He didn't get to dominate the headlines. Canada did. And here's the bigger picture. This wasn't just about tariffs. Carney elevated the conversation. He brought Ukraine, European security, and economic cooperation into the discussion. Ever since taking office, Carney has positioned Canada as a global player, not just America's neighbor. That's the story here. Canada, under Carney, is stepping out of Washington's shadow. We're proactive now, not reactive. We're setting the agenda, not taking it. So what does this mean for Canadians? It means the old days of being bullied by tariffs are fading. It means Canada's economy is future-proofing itself against U.S. pressure. And it means when Trump throws a punch, Carney doesn't flinch, he redirects. And Carney isn't standing alone. Just yesterday, Ontario Premier Doug Ford came out swinging. In a fiery press conference, he said, "If you roll over, this guy just keeps beating you and beating you. No, we should hit him back twice as hard." That's bold, and it matters because it shows Washington this isn't just one prime minister holding firm. It's an entire country ready to defend itself. Carney's setting the tone federally. Ford's amplifying it provincially. Together, they're showing Trump Canada won't be bullied. This kind of alignment sends a powerful signal. Canada is united, and America risks more by escalating than Canada does by resisting. So let's be clear. Trump may have wanted this call to show Canadian weakness, but what we're actually seeing is Canadian strength. Trump wanted compliance. Carney gave him confidence. Trump wanted fear. Carney gave him vision. This isn't just about tariffs. This is about Canada's future. And with Carney at the helm, that future looks strong, independent, and resilient. So what do you think? Did Carney handle Trump the right way? Should Canada keep moving away from U.S. dependence? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you're proud of Canada for standing firm. And don't forget to subscribe to Canada Today for more in-depth breakdowns of the stories that matter.